Welcome to another Coach's Preseason interview with head coach Steve Ziegelmeyer of the Heartland Crusaders here on OpenSpacesSports.com, brought to you by Farm Credit of Western Kansas. Coach, what do you look forward to this year?
You know, I'm just looking forward to getting the guys back together and starting the season.
All right, folks, a championship season a year ago, but you can find out more about the Crusaders and their football team for the upcoming season. Just go to OpenSpacesSports.com. Coach, let's talk a little bit. Let's relive a little bit history last year. You guys had a phenomenal run in the Kansas Christian Athletic Association, where you went all the way to the championship game. Was played right here in Colby in western Kansas in an exciting game that went right down to the wire. Had to be really memorable for you as a coach and for your kids.
Oh, boy. Yeah, you relive that experience over and over in your mind, and those guys, it'll be something they'll never forget. But they earned it.
You know, as I remember back, it was a really cold day, too, wasn't it?
Very cold. In fact, several of our guys in the pictures, they have ice clinging to their chest where they would take a drink from their water bottles and it would instantly freeze.
Weather had been pretty good all fall, but then you came down to that game in a very cold atmosphere. The temperature had turned really cold. Were you concerned about that going into the game that day, or at that time does that not even matter?
I don't think that even entered our minds. Your heart's a-pumping and you're warm on the inside. That's all that mattered.
You had something that not a lot of coaches get to do. I mean, there's coaches that do it, but you had two sons that were on that team. Both were seniors, I believe. What was that like?
I've never coached when my kids haven't been involved. So I think this new year will be quite the experience just to see what that is like. It's what a privilege, though, to be able to get a coach and instill some values in your own kids. All these kids are just like my own sons. You know, I just love them all, and I just love to be around them.
You know, I would guess that you probably would say, as any coach would say, part of the success of any football team is commitment, and there's a lot of things that go to that. But you have players on the team that don't necessarily go to Heartland School. They are homeschooled and they came in. How much of a challenge is that? Well, how gratifying was it to be able to mold a team with that scenario?
You know, I'm just happy the kids get an opportunity to play. We are in a unique situation because we're the only team in the area that offers homeschoolers a chance to play. We play other teams that are similar to us. About half of the teams they go to a Christian school or private school, and then they bring in homeschoolers to fulfill their teams. And these kids just want an opportunity. That's all they ask. They just like the same opportunity to play high school athletics as everyone else. And because they have the desire, though, I think it gives them an edge.
You've been involved in both public education and then I don't know whether there's so much private education, because I don't think you teach at Heartland, and I don't know that you ever even have, but you've coached this team. What's the difference, if there is any difference, between the public sector and the private sector, so to speak?
You know, we can do a few more things. I think the public schools do a fantastic job with what they have. I talked to the Colby High School coach, Coach Gardner, today, and he gave a presentation, our Rotary Club, about instilling character into these young men and establishing work habits. And we do the same thing. But at the end of practice, we gather around, we circle up, and we pray for each other. And we're trying to form a band of brotherhood that it's going to take them throughout life. I tell the guys, I say, you know what? Your teammates are the ones that are going to be standing up with you in your wedding. And they're the ones that are going to carry you through the rest of your life when you're going through hard times. So it's a little different in that sense, I think.
Now let's talk about this year's team a little bit. How will this team be different than the one a year ago? What do your numbers look like?
We're down in numbers, and I would love to have some more players. You get to play a lot if you're coming to Heartland Christian School. We have 10 players so far. Offensive line that's probably 250 plus, which may or may not be a hindrance in 8-man football. It's a game of speed, but these guys, they've had some experience, so we'll see what happens.
One of the most, everybody talks about the importance and the value of a quarterback to lead, so to speak. And you shifted that up some last year, but who will be your leader there?
That's a good question. We've not decided on that, and I'm going to ask the kids, who thinks they can step up and lead. I think Corey Lawrence will find a role as probably a read option quarterback, which we did some of last year. where we'll capitalize on his speed.
Steve Ziegelmeyer visiting with us, the head football coach of Christian Crusaders here.